remaining quiet for just
Violated.
I just want David to stew in this for a minute. Welcome back to Easy to Spell, where the name is easy to spell, and we did it wrong anyway. I'm your DM, Andrew, and joining me are fabulous cast and David. Beginning with...
Fabulous cast and David.
Fabulous cast. I thought you were saying David had to start today.
I was making sure he was separated from Fabulous Cast.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. I am Will, and I will be playing Dominique today.
I'm Rachel, and I'll be playing Angelle.
I'm Mike, and I'll be playing Ash.
I am Lucy, and I'll be playing Yoshida.
And I'm David, here to ruin all of the opening moments.
There's no banner. Where's my banner?
That's another one of our 100 followers thing, but that's exclusively 100 followers to Twitch, not combined across platforms. That's when David gets his banner that drops down.
I feel like you need like those basketball pants to just like rip off with that noise.
I will make David a banner personally that will drop down, that he can like pull on. It'll say, "I'm David," when we either get 100 followers on Twitch or a subscriber. When the government lets us have them. A subscriber.
A subscriber that's not family?
Us.
Or us?
Yeah, or outside of the cast.
Okay.
Just because that's a lot of work to make a "I'm David" banner.
It's true. It's true.
Welcome back. We've been out for a little while. It's a little chaotic. Again, we don't have scripts for the beginning yet, so we do it live every time. Welcome back. We don't really have any big announcements or anything, other than we're not going to be playing the 25th or the 1st.
Yeah.
For
Christmas or New Year's.
Obvious reasons. Because you all have better things to do, and I am going to let you be with your families on the holidays.
You
And
can't
if you
make
don't
me.
have families to be with, you can always find us on our YouTube channel.
Hey, that's a shameless plug right there.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely
That's right.
shameless. You can hang out with Mike's characters, who all also don't have families.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's true.
Dark.
We last left out the party that remained in the city of Avarice. You all were arrested pretty promptly after meeting Felix and Ash, the older Tabaxi monk and the younger Fire Genasi. You were rounded up. You two were assumed to be part of the group that had breached the planar boundaries, causing a response from the Vigilant Watch, specifically Captain Rydell and his team, who scooped you all up, invited you up to the higher tier of Avarice, I believe Mesos. I should figure out my own city's geography and not have to reference my notes every time that I say it. Moved up. You were each interviewed / interrogated until your bail was posted, or your bond was posted by Balder, Yasha's older brother, who very quietly whisked you all away in one of the family horse-drawn stagecoaches with the name emblazoned on the side to one of his safe houses, a small, stately manor on the edge of the town, with a viewing platform that kind of overlooks the city below. Drop the volume of the music just a little bit for my sake. It came out a little loud. We had left off with you all settling in to rest and relax for the evening, going to sleep fitfully for some of you. Specifically, Yashta not sleeping well, awoken by a deep craving that was only satisfied by raw meat. Awoken in the morning, how do you want to start your day? I know Domen had set out word to try to get a meeting with the Kaeldon family.
Ash is
Which is only
currently
included.
in the kitchen because he came out and saw Yoshida and woke her up. And she said to go get some breakfast in the kitchen, so I'm currently in there perusing about.
Yeah, I'm too. Yoshi's too afraid to go look at what happened last night in the larder, so she's hanging out in the kitchen, kind of like drumming her fingers, a little nervous, but calming down.
Anybody else?
Angelle and Domen are just waiting for more info on the meeting, right?
Ash, pretty easily. There's plenty of food. This is a well-stocked home. Make a perception check.
That is a 9.
9. Nothing seems out of sort. That's there's not like raw meat splattered over the larder or anything. It was contained the few drops of blood that kind of lead from where the meat is kept. It some sort of trailed through the larder. You don't really notice or pay any heed to. Yoshida, you do catch a glimpse, and it's not some horror fest. I think it was just exacerbated in your memory by that almost guilt or concern, whatever it is you might be feeling. All going about your morning pretty normally, waiting for whatever that next step is. You've been asked not to leave the Mesos, to keep a cool head, and to not make a big presence. Yoshida is told by your brother Balder, given the reason you're no longer living on this tier initially. Chives, affectionately nicknamed by Yoshida, approaches you, Domen and Angelle, a little while late, a little bit into the morning. I hope I'm not bothering you. I got word to the Kaeldon family, and I was not able to arrange a individual meeting with any members. But my understanding is they are having a small event hosted at their property this evening. If you'd like to attend, I was able to get an invitation on behalf of Yoshida's family. It would specifically be for Balder and guests, but seeing as the event is supposed to be masked anyway, I think nobody would ask too many questions. The invitation doesn't have a name on it. And he hands you a embossed like invitation. It's handwritten with calligraphy and lights up as the light hits it with obviously arcane runes that just probably the fanciest invitation two Wastelanders would have ever seen. It's a dinner party this evening. I don't have much more information than that. But if you were seeking to make a connection to his family or anyone in their direct company, I think arranging formal evening wear for you and your party would be simple enough to do.
I think if that's the best option we've got, then that's the one we're gonna have to go with. I'll flip the card around like 3 or 4 times with my finger and just pass it off to Angelle. What do you think, hon?
I think this is a good open door. Chives, will you organize getting the proper attire for such an event?
Of course, I already have all of your measurements. Do you have let me know any details that you please. I have done this for decades. If you couldn't think I can't size up every guest that comes into the home of my employers, I would be
Michelle
unsuited
crosses
for my position.
her arms across her chest. All right. Were you able to get those contacts?
They should be able to arrive before this evening. I wouldn't recommend you go into the Viper's Nest, as it were, without
No.
proper means of disguising your identity. I'll make the arrangements, and a tailor will come to see you about specific tastes. Call if you need me. And he goes, in fact, ring if you need me. And he hands Angelle, he hands you a small silver bell. And it just says, it makes no noise when you ring it. You actually watch his form like shift 2 inches to the side. He goes, it's unnecessary when I'm within sight. But ring it if you need me. And on the side, you see it says ring for chives.
That gets confusing in the kitchen, doesn't it? Never hand that to a chef.
I'm going to need that particular one back. That is specific to me. It doesn't.
Oh no!
I don't think it would get too confusing.
This poor man.
I would also like to inform you, I can disable it at will. It's not something that
Of
You-
course.
you will not catch me in any sort of compromising position. If I'm in said position, it will not be enabled.
All right, so I know if I ring it to congratulate you later.
Indeed.
So she will stick it into her pocket and then turn to Domen and say, well, shall we? Talk to everybody else?
Right, yeah, we should probably do that.
It's easy enough for you guys to like gather up. If it's gathering up the party, I'm just searching something really quick. So you're welcome to gather the group and talk amongst yourselves.
Oh,
So
good.
dinner party tonight. Anybody in?
I'm so excited. I want
This
to
is-
wear my favorite gown.
Will there be booze?
Of course.
Almost undoubtedly, yeah, probably.
We can
I'm
we can
in.
bring our
Yeah,
own.
probably booze.
It will
Yoshta
be-
Pepperdine will be there.
Well, is that smart with how everybody on this area seems to be worried about you?
Well, I can always just disguise myself.
It is also a masquerade, so we will all be wearing masks, which is
Yeah.
lovely. But
Yeah.
if you have a favorite dress, I'm not sure that it's one you would want to.
Okay.
Where?
Okay, that's a good.
You show up as Balder?
But then there'd be two Balders.
If Balder's going, yeah.
He always goes.
Balder will
Also
not be
both?
attending this
Oh,
event.
I will go as Balder. But if they know that he is not going,
They don't. They sent him an invitation.
But-
we will put
but she
it.
doesn't know
Balder
that yet.
can go if you would like him to, or he won't if you would prefer him not to.
I would like him to go. It's my brother. Can you go get schwasty with my brother?
Okay.
I'd love
exactly
that.
sure this is a schwasty.
Shut up, Domen. Shut up. I'm going for support.
See, that's probably more along the lines of thinking you should have. Schwasty, maybe not at the Kaeldon's party.
I'm not
But
gonna
hey,
get
you live up
schwasty.
here. What do I know?
I've rolled for this, so I'm just gonna put it out there. But as all this conversation's happening and the adults are talking, Ash is gonna be trying to sneak into the cabinets to find any sort of like goodie, like candy or baked good. And I rolled a 12 on my sleight of hand, which I believe isn't beat
16
by
is my passive.
So
Okay.
probably a bowl or something like falls and hits the counter.
So what'll actually end up happening is just as you go to grab it, a quarterstaff comes out and you grab it instead of what you're going for.
I'm like, leave him alone.
Which
Over
is
there. It's over there.
like a crystal decanter that's just filled with candy, and it's on a shelf of other ones that are just like it. Like this is a house that they apparated a Sunday bar for you at some point. Balder also has a taste for sweets, and it is like Willy Wonka. Like he has a entire pantry dedicated to candy, and it is like Willy Wonka's cigar case, where it's like a temperature controlled, like all the shelves are individually lit.
Come on, man. I just one.
Yeah, just let him have one.
We don't need you to have a sugar high this early, okay?
You are hammered, sir. No, I just like bring Ash to the side and
Alright.
take him to the right cabinet.
I'll save it for later.
Okay. Fill your pockets.
Fill your pockets. Aw, that's adorable.
So we're going to a party?
Yes. We get to wear masks and everything is just like dressing up.
That's awesome. What are you gonna? What mask are you gonna wear?
A good point for me to interject. We're going to assume the tailor comes and double checks all of your sizes. Chives did get all of your sizes exactly correct. Not like that. Not like that. He is just an incredible. He is incredible at buttling.
Freaks on Angelle out though.
He was a
That's fine.
Victoria's Secret store manager.
An incredible guesser.
Well, I think because of how many levels of fighter he has, he's also able to figure out your strength.
I'm sorry, he's a
your
fighter?
level,
Above or below.
Is he coming
yeah,
with us?
He's able to get a pretty
Can
good.
he come with us?
No, he's not.
But I can summon him with this bell.
Okay, good thing. I'm like, what bell? And I feel like there'd be like a little thing on it that says, "Do not give to Yoshida."
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
I would. Yoshida would be aware that Chives fills a role of both a butler and bodyguard to members
Oh,
of the
yeah.
family, and is probably why specifically Balder requested that he accompany Yoshida.
Aww. I love
Um,
chives.
What do your masks and outfits look like? Let's start with Angelle, since Ash asked her. Or would you like,
Fantastic.
unless somebody else is ready and wants to give you time, we can vamp. We can vamp for a minute. As
Anybody
I
else
put
got any
all of
ideas?
you on the spot. Describe to me in great detail on a moment's notice.
Okay,
I'm a toucan.
okay, I've got it. Angelle is her costume theme is like Bumblebee, so it's like yellow and black stripes, but the yellow is like a soft like gold, not quite like yellow gold, but almost like white gold, with like black sequins in between the yellow gold bits that are all over her dress. And then her mask is all black sequins with just like the tiniest little gold circles here that are like cute little bumblebee circles. And then it has a cape on the back that's like a gossamer thin fabric that has like little veins going through it that kind of mimic wings. Yeah?
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
I think Domen would probably go very, I won't say half-assed, but like masquerade parties are kind of silly, so I'm putting in as little effort as I possibly can. Very much like when Deadpool stapled a picture of Hugh Jackman to his face. Except it's probably himself. So it's probably like a half-assed cardboard-esque mask, but it's just his
Oh,
face.
Domen's not the one making the mask, to be clear. Like,
Remember,
Oh,
that's
you,
the
you are
that's the tailor.
commissioning these.
Well, then I would commission my own face.
Okay. You get like a Phantom of the Opera, but it comes down over both eyes, so it's like 3/4 of your face of your own face, and it merges pretty well. It's just off on color enough, and there are little plates that come up and like cover your own horns. So it's just enough that it's still a masquerade mask, but
I forgot to add one more thing on mine. She has a little bee buzzer tail that's actually a hidden knife.
okay.
Okay, go on.
Ash would have asked for just like black suit, whatever, but with like orange stripes a little bit, like kind of like cat-like stripes. And then his mask would be a cat's face as well.
Okay, I'm gonna go next. So Yosha is gonna go in with like the badass, like very tailored suit with no shirt underneath. So like, she's obviously a woman,
Oh.
but she doesn't have a shirt underneath. But she's got like black wings that are hanging down, very shiny, and she's got a toucan's mask. So it's like it's gonna disfigure her face a lot. Like people aren't gonna know what her face looks like. And she shape shifted into somebody with like really long black silky hair. So yeah, so very black, very fitted, chic suit with
A raven.
cleavage.
Okay. And last but not
Damn, those
least,
boobs, I like it.
Nothing absolutely crazy. Just normal dress wear attire. Except when it comes to the mask, it's actually going to be a half mask. That is actually going to be an Oni mask. If you don't know what it is, it's has usual like fangs. Well, it has like 2 like tusks and then normal teeth, and yeah. Anyway, nothing crazy.
as
Does it-
the moment.
So I was gonna ask, does it hide the fact that you are an automaton, or does like
This is
it
Felix.
cover
not-
enough?
This is
I am
Felix.
not an automaton.
He's a
Oh
cat.
yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm a
Average and
giant
Sire.
orange cat. It's
What is it
really
gonna
gonna be hard to figure out, who it is.
Averin and Sai are probably currently raiding a library. I think is about where they
Sorry, that was my bad.
are. Okay. The anointed time to depart for the party comes close, and chives. Whenever you're ready, the stagecoach is outside. What would you like to be announced as? How should I introduce you to the party? Individually, collectively, not at all?
Oh, I think that we should go in individual groups so that we aren't associated too much together, so we can
wouldn't-
meet at the party and share
You-
information.
Do only
Wouldn't-
have a single invitation.
Oh yes.
Want to be
I was just
announced
saying not at all.
individually if we're not associated with the Kaeldon family. So Balder and Balder and friends Balder and accompaniment.
Boulders.
Yeah.
What if we just went as Yosha and compliment? Would that be?
I think that's an awful idea. You're
Okay,
supposed to be
okay.
flying under the radar, aren't you?
Well, I know, but
I have been given very explicit instructions not to introduce Yoshida as herself.
okay, Chives.
Given
What would you suggest?
anything but your own name, I apologize. Sometimes adventuring groups have names they like to be
Ah,
known
okay.
as.
Not be announced as cock.
Balder and his
well, we could do-
peppermints.
I'm game if you guys are.
Alder in his
Don't hate it. Doesn't that make us sound like a
We're fucking
performance
peppermint.
group?
Gigolo group?
We're cool.
No, you're onto something. You're really onto something. I'm just not prepared to perform if we need to do that.
Oh, Ash will take
Burlesque.
care of that.
Especially
He's a
with the
great
age of all
performer.
of our members.
I quite enjoy the young sir's idea.
Let's do it.
Maybe
Okay, write it down.
I'll
All
herald it up a little.
Okay.
Yes.
Indeed. As a servant, I won't be allowed within the party. That's the household servants will be the ones taking care of the guests. But I will remain outside, along with the stagecoach driver. If you need me, ring for chives.
Ring for chives. Wait, did he give you the bell?
He gave me the bell.
Can I have it?
No.
Young Miss Pepperdine, you are well aware that the enchantment does not work for you. Unless your life is in grave danger. And yes, it has been updated to recognize when you are in grave danger, not left to your own judgment.
Oh.
There is a reason that I was given the ability to turn it off and on again. No one catches chives with his pants down anymore.
Listen, that was one time.
Once is
And
enough.
I only knew about it because someone said something.
As soon as you all are ready to depart, let me know, and we can do so. If there's any business you would like to get up to, you have a little bit of time before you need to depart for the party to arrive on time.
Basically, Felix is going to have a small side conversation with Ash, just talking him, don't get too excited. If you get too excited, something might happen or cause a scene. We don't want that to happen. If you ever feel like it's an issue, just stop, meditate, let me know. Take care of it.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll do my best. This is gonna be fun.
You got this, dude. And I like elbow him. I'm like, you're gonna be fine. Just like focus on the food. There's gonna be lots of food.
Yeah.
And before we go, I need to do a spiritual session so that I can get my thing,
My thing.
my spell.
Okay.
So-
What would Yoshita's spiritual session look like? What is her process?
She is going to grab one bottle of wine. She's going to go outside. She's going to wave Ash over and she says, Ash, go ahead and start a fire for me. And I've got like a branch. Okay, we got a fire going. And I just sit there and Ash can join me if he wants. And I drink that wine and I think about the spell I need to use.
Okay. Whole bottle of wine? That's
A whole bottle of wine.
make a Constitution saving throw.
That's a D20, right?
Yes, it is.
Constitution. 18.
18. You're fine. Yeah, at this point, Yashta can handle her liquor. Felix, are you bringing your Endless Yard of Marg?
Yes. But it is going to. Yeah, no. He'll have it. It's fine.
As a longtime drinker,
left it.
someone very familiar with the Endless Yard of Marg, Felix, you are aware there is a little dial at the bottom. You can change it from Endless Yard of Marg to Endless Martini Glass. You can change it to Endless Negroni, where it shifts to a little Negroni glass. Endless Scotch on the Rocks. You have the Platinum membership. Endless Cocktail.
And at the end of this cocktail. All right. Then it will be for the party. We'll go with scotch.
Endless scotch in the ranks.
Oh,
Fancy.
Okay.
it's so much scotch.
Only if you drink it endlessly.
I mean,
His runes are intact. And
That wasn't my
the
fault,
art,
by the
it
way,
does, with every switch, it does change glass to the appropriate glass for the
Little martini
the
glass.
cocktail.
No, not that one. No.
that's
Okay,
cool.
there it is.
Tink, tink, tink. I will say Yoshta probably sees you going through, and it very much like the brilliant rod that changes, like turns into different weapons based on what setting you want. It's very much that. He's just holding different glasses.
My mind just explodes. Like,
It's so cool.
Anything else? No? In that case, you all load up onto the most subtle of Pepperdine vehicles, the branded stagecoach with the coat of arms on the side, and make your way across Mesos. Towards the center, houses become larger and more spaced out. You get to the point that what was large, nice houses in close proximity, kind of where you were with some yards, the yards get larger and larger until they become full grounds. By the time you reach the Kaeldon estate, you pass one house that through the hedgerows and wrought iron gates past the gazebos, you see a full zoo kept with creatures you've never seen, strange, long-necked, blunt-horned beasts chewing at the tops of shaped trees. Giraffes. I described giraffes. And other creatures just milling about. An incredible waste of food and space for anyone that has spent any time on Terrace. It is the pinnacle of just ostentatiousness. You arrive. You pull up a large, kind of one of those circle driveways where the coach pulls around a large fountain and stops for you all to disembark. We are going to take just a brief break. I think is 5 minutes. Is that okay? We're going to do just a quick 5-minute break, and we will be right back. Welcome back. Sorry for the sudden break. We're returning. We're gonna just slightly on their way to this masquerade to remember. Our current party is in the stagecoach with the Pepperdine family crest emblazoned on the side on their way to the Kaeldon family household. Was there anything you'd all like to discuss on the ride over? Chives is sitting with the driver outside of the carriage itself. There's just the 5 of you.
I want everybody to have a fun time, party it up, get your drink on, all that kind of shenanigans. But Ange and I are here to, at the very least, find some information on our children. Okay? So...
Please do your best to not get us all kicked out.
Get us kicked out. If you want to get yourself kicked out, that's great.
I'll help you in any way that I can.
If you hear anything about the Kaeldon family and can let us know, anything that's going on with them, any kind of gossip,
Does
that might help us.
Kaeldon family ring any bells? I don't. I was here a long time ago, but
well, the Kaeldon family, just by name alone, you still would be familiar with. They're one of the oldest families in the city of Avarice. So they've always been big players. What business was Felix in?
It wouldn't have been Felix. It would have been his dad. I guess he would have helped his dad at one point or another. We'll say apothecary. Why not?
Okay. And apothecary and alchemy. So your father with his business, anybody with business at some point has had Kaeldon family pass through their hands just to do business on Messos. They have a lot of say in any amount of licensing, bringing guild members and craftsmen up from Terros. And so you'd be familiar with their name, if not like any particular members.
Just the name, more or less.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anything else you'd all like to discuss?
Is there like a child that's about my age that I would know from like school or something?
You are not sure who's going to be in attendance. You've not arrived yet.
Okay.
So there may be.
Okay. All right, Angelle, Domen, I will be on my best behavior. But if you need a distraction, I'm your person.
Absolutely are.
I can do such things. But I will behave. For you. And only you.
Thank you.
Actually means quite a bit.
The stagecoach pulls up around, as I described before, the large fountain that it pulls through. It opens up to a long red carpet leading up to a 7-story mansion. The yard's kind of spreading to either direction, left and right, and off behind them. You can see there's another house across the street. But other than that, the closest one is a good 100 yards away in either direction. And the grounds surrounding are filled with hedge mazes, and you can see like fence tops in the distance that host different outdoor attractions, gardens, and sitting areas. You spot on your way up the path that is lit with small floating will-o'-the-wisps kind of dancing in between the bushes, lighting the path. What you're sure is a full restaurant in the middle of this hedge maze, like off in the distance, with a few people sitting and eating at it. Chives is accompanying you up the path. He gets to the front door and he hands the invitation and a small note to the doorman, who nods to him. Chives goes, "Good luck in there. Try not to disrupt my employers too much. You are here on their name."
Of course, we are not.
The only person that's going to disrupt your employer's name is your employer's sister. So,
Which she might very well do that. That is within the family. You two seem like good people. I trust you. Ring if you need me. And he turns and he starts walking down the path, climbs the top of the stagecoach. To which the doorman gives each of you a low bow and pushes the door open. Now announcing the Pepperdine Peppermints.
as he announces us, I'll like slap Ash on the shoulder and be like, "Good job on the name, kid," and hold down my fist so that he can bump it.
Thanks.
You're ushered into a grand hall. The first 2 floors of this, like the building, seem to be just this grand ballroom that you've entered into. There's some doors off to either side, but this room, 20 feet tall, a grand chandelier hanging in the entryway, 2 spiraling staircases towards the back leading up to the next floor. A number of people in attendance, probably a good 30 or 40 so, milling about on the floor, talking. You catch snippets of business, or, "Oh, and how's your mother? Is she well? that kind of small talk as it's kind of beginning. Servants in all wearing wolf masks and black suits,
Meow.
moving between with trays of hors d'oeuvres and drinks, cocktails, and champagne, and moving through the crowd. Some heads turn. Oh, did they say Pepperdine? Terrible business with the daughter of the family. It's good to see they're still doing well for themselves. You're all enter into the hall.
The first thing Ash wants to do is just look around and see if there's any other short people his height. Maybe they might be kids, but looking for somebody that's around his age.
Maybe.
Make
Oh,
a
no.
perception check.
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. There are several figures your age. Some of them are gnomes, so you're paying attention. You start watching for which ones have alcohol in their hands and which ones don't. And there are there are 3 altogether without alcohol that all have plates piled high with hors d'oeuvres, and they're kind of like sharing amongst each other, like whispering, looking around. All 3 are wearing mouse masks and have matching. There's a girl who's wearing a gray frilly dress, and the 2 boys are wearing matching gray suits. They're probably a little bit smaller than you, kind of tucked away off to the side.
Cat and mouse game.
Nice.
This is great.
Domen will survey the room for anybody that looks like they might be a Kaeldon.
Make a perception check. Your
His
camera
camera
froze.
froze.
Your camera
Yeah.
froze.
Fantastic. Can you still
Can
hear
I
me?
help him?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can
I can
we
still
can
hear
still
you.
hear
Yes.
you.
Okay,
I
good,
love
hold on.
I love your smug look that you've got going right now.
That was a very smug look.
Would I be able to help him?
Yeah. Go ahead. We'll go ahead and roll that with advantage.
So 16 and a 9. You said perception?
Yeah.
17 total.
17 is getting a glimpse. There's nobody that anybody is like moving to specifically try to speak with, in the sense like the host of the party. There aren't people gathered up. Yoshida is able to kind of quickly explain that usually at these kind of events, the hosts will make an entrance. If they haven't done so yet, then it means they have not graced the floor yet.
I guess in that case, I will find somewhere to post up, like get a drink, get a table, mosey and talk with some randos until I can get a beat on somebody I need to talk to.
Okay. You do so. You get a drink and hors d'oeuvres and move, and you kind of make yourself apparent until there's a figure, a black scaled dragonborn, and he's wearing a mask of a gold dragon. You're not sure if his mask, it looks like it might be made with actual dragon scales. It covers the top half of his face. He has kind of whiffs of like a thin goatee, kind of that kind of is tufting out from beneath the scales. You there? You came in with the Pepperdine Peppermints, is that correct?
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you. My name is Dririk Iska. I've been meaning to do business with the patron of your family. I don't suppose that would be you. Your complexion is a little different than what I was led to believe.
I'm afraid I'm actually just a friend of the family. If business is what you're, and I glance over at Yoshi real quick, looking for, I believe that's the direction you'd need to be headed. And I'll point toward Yoshi.
Boulder was with us, wasn't he?
Balder did not come on the carriage with you. At
Oh.
least he's not. He is not currently in attendance.
Oh no.
Well, I suppose business can come along later. I'm pleased to see the Pepperdine family can make it. Awful business with their daughter. It's a shame what happened. But
That's what I hear, yeah.
too dark a conversation for tonight. Cheers! And he holds up. He's drinking in his like giant clawed hands. He's holding just a tiny champagne flute. And he goes to cheers you with it.
Shit.
Here's him back. And I'm sorry, your name one more time.
Delirik Iska. You've likely heard of my family. I deal in investments as well, but my family does have contracts in some of the infrastructure in the city. At least we're supposed to. We will. It'll all come together eventually, I'm sure.
And to that, I lift up my bottle of or glass of champagne to him, and I'm like, cheers, but I like do it really aggressively.
Okay.
Hopefully it breaks.
Oh, if you're trying to break it, go ahead and give me a make an attack roll. Use your dexterity plus. I'm going to assume Yashta's proficient in champagne flute.
Dexterity plus whatever I roll.
So, yeah, so D20 plus your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
24.
24. Shatters. His is empty. He had already cheers and like tossed it back. His glass breaks. Were you intending for your glass to break as well?
No.
Nope. I mean, you hit it just right. So and you see he's bleeding a little bit from it having cut him on his hand. I'm so sorry. Let me step away and get this cleaned up. It was a pleasure to meet you both. Give my regards to the Pepperdine family.
I'm so sorry. It was so good to meet you. Thank you so much for everything.
And he walks and speaks to a servant who starts to bandage his hand and leads him kind of off to a corner of the room.
What was that? What
was that?
What do you mean? What was that?
Any particular purpose? Did he wrong
Talking
your
shit
family?
on me. I'm okay. All right. I've been listening to the shit all night. I'm sorry. I got a little aggressive. I'm good. I want to rein it in. And then
What
I'm
did
like,
he say?
He was talking about the shame with the daughter stuff.
That was terrible that it happened.
Yeah.
He felt sorry for you.
Are there any of my family members around?
Nope.
Nope. My family just is like not attending.
I mean, you have we had the invitation.
At this point, that no one in your family is in attendance.
Okay. Is there anybody like I was friends with that I should avoid?
Give me a perception check. Or investigation, whichever you prefer.
Okay, I did knock that with my hand, so I'm gonna redo it. Okay. 19.
19. There are a few different pockets of young debutantes and partygoers that you think might recognize you if you were to draw like too close to them or speak directly to them. Being a masquerade, you aren't sure who they are. They just seem familiar, and you've been to events like this before, and you kind of know the cliques. That's the daughters of guildsmen versus old money, nobles and aristocrats versus craftsmen and made men.
Okay, I'm gonna try to avoid the groups that I think would recognize me that aren't gonna help us with the search. So
there is, with a 19, one particular person you know for sure would recognize you. From his stature, his long military cut, or not long, but military cut, graying black and pepper, or salt and pepper hair, Captain Rydell, the investigator that brought you all here. is standing in a corner, speaking to a few individuals in hushed tones.
I should have picked a different mask.
With that being a bigger cat, and knowing that his disguise is not very good, he is going to just make sure he stands off and out of sight.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
We could always
Or a
ask Chives
performance
to get
check.
us
Either one.
more masks.
Stealth is much better. Although performance isn't terrible, but much better on stealth. We are looking at 21.
21? Okay.
Yeah, 21.
Rydell does not make any moves towards you. Not sure if you had caught his attention already or not, but you feel pretty secure keeping people in between you and him, different moving people, parts of the crowd.
And then also I'd like to just kind of keep an eye on him to see if he tags anybody else, if he recognizes anybody else.
Okay. Watching him. The instruments in the corner that are kind of floating and playing themselves. There are no musicians or bards. There's no paid entertainment. They soften. They continue playing, but in hushed, muted tones. As one of the doorways at the top of one of those spiral staircases at the other end of the ballroom opens, and a tall, elven-featured man, the top half of his face covered with what looked like an eagle mask, and the woman at his arm wearing a long black dress and looks like a crow's face mask, begin to walk down together. The crowd turns, and one servant who has been standing halfway up the stairs moves up and offers out a tray with 2 glasses of champagne. They each take it. The man raises and goes, "Friends, acquaintances, other people that snuck into the party." There's a little bit of a chuckle through the crowd. "Welcome to our home. I'm glad you've all come to celebrate this day." And he pats the woman next to him, her hand, which is on his arm. "We celebrate our 75th anniversary. They say that eventually they'll blur together. Everyone is more special than the last." And yes, light applause. "I'm glad to see so many friendly faces. Safiel, you and the guilds helped us build everything around. Dririk, your business acumen, or lack of it, sure didn't hurt either." A couple people chuckle at the jab. "But your constant competition keeps me on my edge. And I couldn't think of a closer enemy to have." And Dririk kind of cocks his head a little bit and, "I would like to thank the members of the Vigilant Watch who joined us this evening," and gestures to Rydell. "And Otherian Wiles, one of my family's closest compatriots and confidants, and a human man whose mask has some sort of deer or elk, but he has the horns, the antlers coming off." I know David's really particular about these terms because they always get them wrong in games. So his stag mask with the antlers. Raises his glass. "Hear, hear. Please enjoy the appetizers, the hors d'oeuvres, and the drinks available. Dinner should be in 30 or so minutes. Until then, make of our home your own. And everybody begins to clap as they make their way the rest of the way down the stairs and into the crowd and begin talking. This is Vincent Kaeldon and his wife, Eloise.
Well, it appears we found who we're looking for.
Right. I wonder if talking to him first is the wrong way to go. I didn't
What do you think?
realize old what was his name? Drerick? I didn't realize Drerick was in direct competition with him.
I think we need to speak with someone who can introduce us to them.
There's an idea.
Would I know that?
There was a. I'm thinking of Othelian.
Therian?
Otherian.
Miles?
Otherian. Here.
Which Yoshida would know the Wiles family. They are a vassal family to the Kaeldon. They're related by marriage and kind of were brought up by association, less so than having been a family that made their own name.
Or maybe if we talk to Drerick more and see if he has any lowdown information, background information.
Thinking.
So
And then we can take that and see if we can get Otherian to introduce us once we have more understanding.
Like you're reading my mind. You want to take Otherian and I'll chat up Drerick again since I've met him already?
Okay, I will do that.
Right.
Ash is gonna kind of poke Felix a little bit. Hey, Felix, can I go hang out with the other kids?
I don't see why not, but
I'll behave.
I
I'll behave.
do-
I'll promise. I promise.
Hear me out. I need you to pay attention to me. And I also need to make sure that you don't let on about where we're actually from.
Where should I say?
Don't say. Just avoid the question.
Okay. All right. Can I go?
Make sure you keep an eye, not necessarily on me. You might not be able to find me. I don't know why I'm going into Kaya slightly, but whatever. Keep an eye on, wow, I am drawing a blank right now. Domen and Angelle.
And I put my hand on his shoulder, give him
And
guidance
Yoshida.
before he runs off.
Okay. Perfect. Then he can deceive better.
If he needs to. Maybe he
So
just wants
we
to go be a
have-
kid.
We have Ash going to play with the other children. We have Domen going to speak with Drerick.
Do you want me to
Angelle
go with you, Domen?
with Ethereum.
Do you want me to go
Not
with
be with
you,
me.
Angelle?
So, is this the
Sure.
Kaeldon estate?
This is the Kaeldon estate.
Kaeldon estate. So with that, while trying to keep an eye on the lieutenant, was it the lieutenant? I think it was the lieutenant.
Yeah.
Anyway, captain. He is going to talk to some of the help as much as he can anyway, and try to get somewhat friendly with them. To maybe coax some information out of him.
Okay. And who is Yoshida?
And-
Who's Yoshida going with?
Angelle. She's the only one
Angelle.
that wanted me.
And as
You
we
all-
as we sneak over, I'll chat with you. But when we get to wherever Andrew wants to lead us, then I'll tell you what we chat about.
Yeah. As you all break off, the doors open again. The herald beginning. I announcing Lord Race Kaeldon, and he's kind of cut off as two figures standing like arms over each other's shoulder, kind of stumble in, blatantly drunkenly, followed by a few. I'm gonna say mean looking for the streets. They're wearing the three people in this entourage following the two men are wearing like ill-fitted suits that are kind of like you clearly have some stains and spots. Like there's not secondhand, but like third or fourth hand suits, and these three men are following the two that are drunkenly like, and it is Balder, Pepperdine, arm over the shoulder, drunkenly staggering with raced Kaeldon, the eldest son of the Kaeldon family. Hey, hope we didn't miss the party. We just came from the party. I thought we were going back to your house. And just very clear, the entire crowd kind of parting. Yeah. Father, are we late? Which Vincent turns, and you see just flashing behind his eyes, in the eyes behind his mask, this flicker of just rage that his son would show up. No, Race, you've arrived far earlier than I hoped. Come here. And the two of them, followed by their group, like kind of approach up to Vincent, who immediately begins having a hushed conversation with sharp tones. The entire party has gone quiet except for the soft music in the background, which slowly begins to swell a little bit to drown out whatever's being said. Ash, as you approach the three children that are dressed as mice, you've lost sight of them for a moment, but you see kind of the ruffles of the young girl's long dress poking out from underneath one of the tables against the wall. And you approach and pull up the tablecloth, and three startled-looking children with just the like Halloween candy style pile of food between them. There's a little bit of everything. They've stolen what looks like an entire chocolate fountain and like stuffed it into the corner, and are taking turns dipping everything from marshmallows to slices of fruit and berries, to an entire like chicken leg into the chocolate, and are just trying different things.
Lady Featherweight, no!
Shit.
And they all look at you really quickly. We're going to go simultaneously as Domen, you approach. Drerick is having a conversation with a tall woman. She has sort of stony-looking skin, that of a Genasi, an Earth Genasi specifically. Her mask is appropriately a mole's face. I don't see why I had to bring up the contract that went out between us. It was, I think, poor sport. I realize he and I have had a competition for years now, but to drag it into the public eye like this just makes me seethe. I'm aware, Drerick, but with the amount of money he throws at the guild, there's little that could have been done to get you the contract. I think he bought it out from under you out of spite. He can't be making money off of this. Felix, you make your way and kind of work your way towards the kitchen, where there's some staff that's moving in and out. There's constantly a couple, and they're whispering to each other. It's like, I heard it's more than just the family, a blood relation that keeps Ethereum so close to the Kaeldons. I hear, and the music swells, and you miss the last little bit as you're on approach. And then Angelle and Yashta, you're making your way towards the dance floor, where you see Eloise has kind of separated off from Vincent. She is currently standing, their dance having been interrupted, but she was dancing with Otherian Wiles and speaking in hushed tones to him. What was it you two wished to discuss on your way over?
So tell me everything you know about Otherian.
Okay. What do I know about Otherian?
Okay, you know that he's a member of a family that's been close to the Kaeldons for decades, but they rose to prominence through association with the Kaeldons rather than through any merit of their own. Um, Otherian has driven his family into bankruptcy multiple times, but has been miraculously bailed out with some sort of large commissioning uh, or a large contract or something that is kind of passed over to him by the Kaeldon family. Somebody in this family has just kept them afloat, and they've been close for a long time.
So I relay that information, and I'm just like, okay, Angelle, I think you're gonna have to be a little bit dirty with this, okay? This isn't by the book, paladin shit, okay? All right?
I'm not by the book. What do you mean by dirty, though? We have to have a
Not
plan before
sexually,
we go
not
over.
sexually. No,
Oh,
I just
okay,
mean
okay,
like,
okay. I can.
if you need me, I can step in. If you need me, I can step in. But I believe in you. You got this.
How do you think I should approach him? Do you think I should approach, like,
I
just
think you should ask him for a dance, and then strong arm him a bit,
okay,
and
like I'm in
mention
charge? Yes,
mention the
okay.
dirty stuff I just mentioned. By dirty, I mean
Okay.
that the
The
bankruptcy
bankruptcy.
and somebody's bankrolling him. Okay,
Okay,
do that,
okay.
and then don't be like, I don't want anything from you. I just need my kids. Okay, and I'm gonna guidance her.
Okay.
Wasn't he supposed to be getting us an intro?
Yeah.
Sorry to just meta pigeon that.
Wait,
Yeah.
well, I don't know.
I got it.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
I think
but
that was on
I
character.
think
Yeah, for sure.
I think Godjals knows how she's gonna. So, all right. Watch my back, and if you see the conversation starts to get angry, that's when I need you to step in and remind me to come do something. Okay? I don't want him
Okay.
to get angry. I just want him to feel a little.
I'll cut in. Okay?
Okay.
I'll cut in. I'm gonna stand there and look cute in my suit.
Dashing.
I'll vogue to the music.
Okay. And then
No.
do you want us to keep going into that, or
Yeah, we can continue going into this as you two split off. Yosha, immediately as you two like split off and you kind of stand up to the side, a young looking half orc gentleman, he's wearing a boar's mask, excuse me, miss, might I have a dance?
Yes.
He
But we
whisks
stay
you
near
away.
my friend, okay?
He is hoarded muscle, like as you kind of as he holds on to you and begins to dance. He is probably almost as tall as Domen. Make an investigation check.
Oh no.
We
Oh
investigate.
no.
Okay, it got caught on my cord, but it's a 12.
It's 12. Nothing to worry about. This
Okay.
strapping young half orc whisks you away into the dance floor, surprisingly light on his feet.
I'm gonna keep
considering
my eye
how-
on Angelle.
Yeah, easy enough. Is a skilled enough dancer that there's no like sudden movements. Like this is a familiar, like 4-step ballroom dance that he's taking
He's
you
not
away
frisky,
on.
is he?
No, he is a perfect gentleman. He has his hand right, kind of in the small of your back, below the friendship zone, and above though you've gone too far, buddy.
Sweet.
begins to dance with you. The music swells. Angelle, you approach. It is Eloise Kaeldon has kind of just stepped away from a dance with Ethereum. They're still kind of talking, leaning closely to each other so as not to be overheard. Make an insight check.
Okay. Inside is bad. That's 14.
14. Nothing particular. As you approach, they pull away from each other and turn. Eloise raises it. Oh, greetings. Welcome. I'm not sure I recognize you. She holds out her hand very much in the, like, sort of shake my hand or kiss my ring, like, gesture. Very polite, but very she's in charge.
Man, Angelle doesn't even know what she's supposed to do here. So she's going to like softly take her hand like like a man would and kiss her ring.
Oh,
Like an interesting but sorry, this makes me nervous, guys. Not Angelle though, she's fine.
I'm
She's going to say
Eloise, this is Ethereum. What is your name?
I am Mala. Mala Peppermint.
Luca. Oh,
Mala Peppermint. How
Yes, we are
provincial. You came in with
the...
the Pepperdines.
Yes.
The Pepperdine Peppermints.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was just adorable. A pleasure. I'm so glad you could make it to our anniversary.
I am pleased that we were extended an invitation, and I absolutely admire your relationship. 75 years is nothing to sneeze at.
In the eyes of some of our race, and you see she has the long pointed ears of an elf, not a half, or is a full elf. Some members of our race see 75 as but the honeymoon stage still. And I admit sometimes it does feel that way. I'm sorry, I hope Otherian, please, could you entertain our guest? I have to continue to make the rounds. I fear I've spent too long here with you. He goes, of course, dear. You and she strides gracefully off into the crowd and begins doing the highs and hellos and a kiss on the cheek. Well, I don't suppose. Should we dance, Mara?
That is actually what I came over here for, was to ask you, so I would very much appreciate the dance.
A gentleman would never make a lady make the first move. Please. I'll lead. And he begins to dance with you. He is a little bit less chivalrous than Yasha's partner. And his hand slowly kind of like testing the waters almost immediately begins to wander a little bit.
And as soon as Angelle picks up the steps of the dance, which I'm taking a guess because she's from the wilds, that they do lots of dancing. There's not a lot to do to entertain yourself, so I'm assuming that's a part of the culture. Yes, no, 7?
Ballroom, I'm going to say
okay?
not a ton, but it's pretty easy watching everybody to pick up the steps.
As soon as she kind of picks up the steps, she's gonna make herself in charge, leading.
She's going to lead.
And definitely show him that power stance.
Give me an opposed just charisma.
Oh my god. Okay.
Do I notice the wandering hand?
If it helps, his is not great either.
Charisma. Oh wait, actually, the wrong character.
I'm thinking you're a paladin.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say paladins usually have good charisma.
That's a 21.
That's without needing to like force him, like brute force into the leading position. You almost like he is trying to just keep up with steps, and you just kind of naturally flow into that position where he has no choice but just to be led in this happy dance with you.
Does Angelle's hands start to wonder?
Not yet. No, not yet.
His hand moves back to the probably up to like the friend zone. As he's just trying to keep up. He can't really worry about trying to cop a feel or anything. He's just focusing on the steps. So, yes. So Molly, I'm glad you sought me out. But to what do I have the honor?
Oh, well, I was interested in your business dealings. Not a very...
Everybody wants to do business at these events. Please, this must be something more entertaining we can talk about.
And what would you propose?
I don't know. I suppose I should start where any gentleman would. What kind of things do you enjoy? What do you seek? Are you an adventurous spirit?
I am an adventurous spirit. I like new experiences, and I like... Oh, sorry. Hold on. I like new experiences, and I like danger.
Both things that you'll find in plenty here, my dear.
I knew you were the person to seek out for this.
I don't suppose you'd be interested in moving this off of the dance floor, would you? I'm afraid to admit that I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping up with you. Something that I assure you won't be a problem in other endeavors.
Well, I would hate to disappear from the party so early, but perhaps later this evening? I do
I'd be
have
a
business
fool
to
to
deal
say
with
no.
in other directions as well.
Oh. Of course, seek me out at any point. I am glad a creature like you sought me out. And he kind of, like, almost like an anchor, like tries to slowly stop the dance so that he can regain a semblance of control.
Just Angelle just dragging his feet as their full stop. Just
She just grabs her up, picks him up. No.
You could. That's
But I'm assuming we're coming in near the end of the song.
yeah, that's true.
And then she is going to copy exactly what what Eloise did at the end of the song. She's going to step away from him and hand out her hand, same way that she did in that domination power stance.
And he like goes into a deep bow, flips out his tailcoat, and the too wet of a kiss to kiss somebody's hand where he like presses into it for just a little too long enough to make us all uncomfortable. And a couple of people that are like coming, like starting to slow down their dance, like looking like do the double take.
So, yeah. Question.
Enchanté, my lady.
We will talk again later. She's gonna walk away and nonchalantly wipe her hand on her dress.
You walk. There's a servant who you walk past, and she just professionally hands a handkerchief to you as you walk by.
Nice. Okay.
Well, looking out.
Yoshti, your dance comes to an end similarly. The gentleman says, "My lady, this was a pleasure. I do hope you seek me out again."
I'm like, the pleasure was all mine, and I just like do a little squeeze on his butt, and then I walk away.
Oh, spicy.
He's left, and his eyes behind the boar's mask, the trim beard. He just is stunned for a moment and watches you go into the crowd. He's lost.
I'm gonna go find Angelle and ask her what happened.
Okay. As you catch up to her and ask, we're going to cut over to Ash, who come to the children stuffing all kinds of food into the chocolate fountain.
As I come underneath the tablecloth and be like, "Hey, can I join you?"
Sure. Do you like chocolate?
I-
They thought they were caught for a moment, so they're.
I'm going to pull like 5 pieces of candy out of my pocket that I took from the house and say, "Yeah, you guys want some?"
We dip candy into chocolate. Come in quick before someone sees you.
I kind of come in and I
All three of them.
put the candy out there so everybody can have some. And I really like your masks.
For mice. Give me 1 second. I have to pull up names.
Are they blind?
They blindness.
Aw. That's cute.
We like yours too. I'm Jamie, and one of the boys hands his hand out.
Right.
This is Mercury, the other boy, and the girl goes, and I'm Cedar.
It's really nice to meet you guys. I'm Ash. And I'll reach my hand out, and obviously they'll see it's like covered in dragon scales.
They reach out their hands, and they're all 3 of their hands have like fine, like wood grain to it, like a light green tenor to the skin. As they each reach out and shake your hand. They kind of scoot to make room for you. Like, I like your scales.
Thanks. I don't know where they came from, but they're pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, they are cool. Are they hard? And the girl like reaches out and like pokes your hand. And then, are they like actual scales?
Yeah,
Like,
they're dragon scales, yeah.
ding ding, little metallic tink as her fingernails hit. It's cool. I'll trade you a marshmallow for your candy. For a
Okay.
piece of your candy.
I'll trade over. So like why are you guys here? Was that your dad?
Oh no, our dad works for Mr. Kaeldon. That's they help with the gardens. He did a real good job this year, and so he was invited to the party.
Oh, that's awesome. It's pretty crazy here, huh? It's big.
It's so big. You could fit like 10 of our houses just into this room.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's
So like your dad works here. Do you guys ever get to come here at all?
yeah. We help Daddy in the orchard sometimes, behind the house. And we actually just live. We have a small house in the back so that Dad can be near. We can't be too far from the trees. Um, I have an orange tree, and Cedar has a cedar tree. The Mercury has a couple pear trees that he keeps. It's his grove, and Mercury looks to be the oldest one. He's kind of sitting and not unfriendly, but he's like 2 or 3 years older, and so he's like kind of too cool to be hanging out with the kids, but he wants to be at the chocolate fountain.
Yeah.
Sure.
Aw.
That's really cool. Do you guys ever like see any like secret passages here?
The Mr. Dune, I think he can kind of be like anywhere in the house. We haven't been into it, but we know that he has a couple. He calls them butler's passages.
Man,
Or
I wish
something.
we could find them. That'd be so cool.
We probably could. We could play hide and seek and try to find them.
You think we'd get caught?
Oh, I doubt it. That's Daddy at these things. He's never really good at paying attention after a little while. I don't know why. It's probably the no juice.
Oh yeah, my dad has that too. He gets a little too carried away with that, huh?
Sometimes I have too much juice and I get a little silly too.
So let's
The
Let's try to
actual
f-
parents that are here
right.
are like,
Yeah.
and Andrew.
let's definitely play hide and seek. This party's kind of lame for us, right? Like, it's not for us. We're just kind of here.
Yeah. Mercury, do you want to play hide and seek? Yeah. Okay. I'll be it first. Stick something in the fountain. Jamie and Cedar go.
wants to stay by the chocolate fountain.
Okay. And Cedar actually reaches out and like holds onto your hand, Ash, and she, I'll stay with you so you don't get lost.
Awesome. Maybe you can show me some good spots to find.
Yeah. Let's go hide. And the three, Jamie goes off one way, you and Cedar go off another. Give me an investigation check. With advantage because Cedar is helping you.
Okay. That's a natural 20 for a 25.
Natural 20 for 25.
Ooh.
You move. Felix, we're going to say you catch sight of Ash, who, with a young girl kind of towing him along, kind of runs past you, weaving through the crowd. And you watch they go up to some like drapes and curtains, and Ash leans over and presses on a panel, which pops open into a small like servant's hallway and disappears into that.
Oh boy.
Oh wow, you found a really good hiding spot.
Yeah, I got lucky. This is awesome. I wonder where it leads.
We could probably go anywhere in the house, but I don't know that Mercury will be able to find us.
Oh, that's the point of the game, though, right?
Yeah, I guess, but it's not fun if you never find anyone. You can't hide too good.
That's fair. Well, let's just roam for a little bit, and then we'll go to an easy place.
Okay. And Cedar lets you kind of lead her down the hall. And I'm sure this was clear.
Yeah.
These are dryads.
Yeah.
That's these.
And just
Dryad
so you know, my intention is to try to find any sort of hidden room, information, like maybe leading down to like a scary dungeon or something like that.
Okay. You'll have a little bit to like run around in this hall.
Right.
You notice there's a little bit of light coming through every little ways where there's a peephole so that servants can like check and not barge in on anything they're not supposed to. We go through. Give me an investigation check.
Not as good. That's a 12.
Okay.
So I guess am I
Nothing.
still, or no, that whatever she did before it is off now, right? I can't remember what she cast.
Oh,
Guidance?
the guidance.
Guidance.
That's.
Yeah, I think that's gone now, right?
Go ahead and use it on this one because I don't think you used it on.
That's
Oh
a
wait,
D4,
it's
right?
up to 1 minute, so I think everybody's would have.
Yeah.
We're still gonna let you use it. That's
Oh, thanks.
good. Toss
Well,
on there.
it was a 1 anyway, so 13.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay, we'll have you looking around. Felix, as you see Ash and the young dryad girl.
So could we roll back just slightly before that?
Yeah.
So initially what he would have been doing is just kind of listening to the servants and trying to get some insight on which one seems the most upset, who could potentially just spill out any information.
Well, give me an insight check.
And that is a 14 plus 6, 20.
20 is easy enough. You kind of find it. There's a break in the room, like a small hallway that leads to the kitchen. It's not just the door to the kitchen. You're able to kind of edge up on the corner. There are a couple different servants that are talking very hushed tones as people walk. Other servants walk in and out. When it was sorry. Just some of these people are just disgusting because you have money. You can just treat anybody however you want. I know. It could be worse. I have a pen pal who lives on Taros. She used to be up here, and it could be so much worse than these old rich bastards just shooting their shot. Okay, they can't do anything here. She goes, it's not here that I'm worried about. And they kind of are talking going on. That Otherian just gets away with anything. And Eloise makes sure that it's just buried. Those are just rumors. It's not just rumors. Every time that someone goes like one of the girls starts not showing up, who was the last person that they were seen talking to at one of these? Because it could just be a coincidence. It's like, that's not a coincidence. And it just makes me sick that they're just covering it up. But what am I supposed to do? Go work for another super powerful family that's going to pay me this well for this kind of work? I don't want to go to Taros and be a prostitute. They're not all prostitutes. It's just a job like this. It's just with a rougher crowd. Right. You've heard the stories, though. Everyone's heard the stories. And they just kind of keep on going like this for a little while.
Okay. And then after seeing Ash go into the servants' hallway, he's immediately going to be torn between staying and going. And then he's going to go and try to be unseen going towards the hallway.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
And it's not, well, it's not, I guess not terrible. What is that? 14?
14. Okay. You don't think that anybody saw you?
No. If they did, they did. He's going to kind of trail Ash in a way, but also kind of just keep his eye out as well going through.
Yeah. You hear, as you kind of like step in and shut the door behind you, you hear, but we can't hide too good. And the ends of that conversation, and then two small sets of feet pattering down the hall. Domen, you're approaching Dririk, correct? He is in the middle of a conversation with who is singled out during the speech as Saphael Halalan. Their conversation about him grumbling about Vincent publicly announcing his failure to get a contract. It's just ridiculous. Domen, correct?
Hey, Drake, I just wanted to check up on your hand and make sure everything was all right. I know that kind of a uncouth experience there.
It's fine. It's fine. Vincent and I have been rivals for the better part of a decade, I'd say. And he just has a tendency to like to rub his success in all of our failures, or in all of our faces, in all of my failures in as well.
Kind of uncalled for, bringing it out to the public eye there, wasn't it? But it's unprofessional. I realize it's his own home, but to drag you in and then just beat you down like that is...
Sapphire, she leans. Dririk really should come to just expect it at this point. It happens almost every time. If it wasn't for the anniversary, they'd still be throwing a party if for no other reason than to make fun of poor Dririk, and she pats him on the arm, for not being awarded the contract. Which, again, I am so sorry. I pulled as hard as I could, but Vitoris just... he's in his pocket. I'm aware,
sorry.
dear.
I caught your name as Sapphire, but I don't think I know you apart from that.
Oh, apologies. She holds out her hand in a very business-like handshake. She's not going to make you kiss the ring. I'm the vice chairman of the Voltaris Manufacturing Guild. We work with a number of notable families and hold a number of the infrastructural contracts for the city, which I was petitioning to get Dririk and his family to sponsor, but he was outbid by Vincent, unfortunately. Outbid my ass. I wasn't even a chance to raise my bid. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry again. It's not your fault. Just let me be bitter for a moment. We'll get over it. Competition is what keeps us on our toes, keeps us at our best.
Seems like some people might have a little bit of an edge, huh?
Some people are born into it, and some people lack respect for those of us that made our own wealth. I knew an old tabaxi once that rose from the ground as an apothecary years ago, and I haven't met a businessman I respected more ever since.
What happened to him?
I just got old. His son had little interest in carrying on the business, and they just kind of faded from view. Man, those that are willing to work from nothing are the ones that deserve a place here on the upper tiers. We should give the folks below a chance to work their way up and not keep them down. Sapphire leans in and she goes, that kind of talk is going to get you easily uninvited from any sort of board meetings in the future. Be careful, Dririk. There are good men down there, and women. I'm not, and others, however they identify. I apologize. I use archaic terms, but I am a firm believer that avarice was built as and should remain a meritocracy, not this old blood money. And I realize, yes, I got a small multi-thousand gold loan from my father to get started, and I won't deny there was an advantage over others I was born with. But Vincent and Eloise, dark dealings.
Their son, what was his name? Raced? Is that him?
Ugh.
Is he always like that?
If there was to be a downfall to the Kaeldon household, it'll be whenever he takes over. I heard a rumor that Vincent was anticipated to retire a few years ago. You know, he's won. He has all the money. Tap out and take a knee. Do your lap. But that would mean handing off the reins to Raced. And my understanding is he's just not willing to do that.
No interest in taking over or no interest in handing off?
Raced, from my understanding, has all the interest in taking over, but for none of the right reasons. He would like to
anybody'd want daddy's money.
Everyone wants his daddy's money. Vultures, all of them. Very few here have the courage to stand up and try to compete with Vincent. And I think it means he's going to go soft eventually. I just have to maintain my edge for longer.
If there's anything I can do to help you have that edge there, Dririk, all you got to do is let me know.
If you can convince Vincent to retire, I think the Kaeldon family would lose all its teeth.
I'm not trying to hand you the win, just give you the edge.
I appreciate that. I was hoping that Agatha would be in attendance. Doesn't seem as though she's made it.
Agatha?
Agatha Thornhart, she's... her kind specializes in deals, and it's done quite well for her. You just have to make sure that when you enter into a Fey contract, you're on the right end of it.
And she has entered into a Fey contract, or she is Fey?
She is a hag, and I do not mean that in the derogatory sense. She is a literal hag. She's been here since the beginning, and she has bought and sold her entire way up. My guess is she wouldn't miss this evening. She will make a dramatic appearance at some point, I'm sure. And at that, outside, rain has slowly started beginning to build. There's a lightning crack as the door opens. And right on cue, the herald, announcing Miss Agatha Thornhart. And an old, decrepit woman with deep gray-blue skin, leaning heavily on a cane. Her magnificent gossamer black ball gown, kind of loosely draped on her body, ill-fitting a dress for a much younger, a much younger woman, walks in, and with each step, you watch as her back begins to straighten, her skin tightens, and the wrinkles begin to fade, and the heavily on the cane which she leaned heavily on begins to tap lightly with her steps as she turns into, before your eyes, a beautiful looking young deep blue skinned woman with white hair. She cracks it twice. Vincent, greet me. Holds out her hand across the room, to which Vincent Kaeldon, who is still in that hushed conversation with Raced and Balder, still there. You hear him sharply go, up to your quarters. And he turns and quickly, Agatha, so glad you can make it. You're just in time for dinner. The doors on the other one side of the ballroom open. You see a magnificent hall, the large, multiple massive tables laden with food. As he runs and he kisses her fingers, or kisses her hand, and begins to lead her that way. He goes, please, everyone, dinner is served. And leads the entire group.
As that entire display happens and Druric starts to walk away towards dinner, I'm going to grab him by the back of the arm and just pull him in close real quick and say, Druric, we may have some common interests in the, let's not say downfall, but the undermining of the Kaeldon household. If there's anything that you can help me with, I'd be happy to help you in return.
Goes, I appreciate that. Can I trust you?
You can. It's a matter of life and death.
At 10 o'clock, tell a servant you wish to see the antique collection. They'll lead you where you need to go. I'll see you there.
Will I go of his arm without saying anything else?
You all make your way into the dining hall. As everyone sits down for dinner at the Kaeldon estate, a massive feast prepared. Ash, Cedar, Felix, absent. At least for the moment. We'll come back next week to finish a dinner to be remembered.
Ooh.
Hopefully it's not a red
Nice.
dinner.
That's what I was gonna say. It's not a red wedding.
I hope everybody had
Red
fun.
anniversary.
That's, I wanted to cut. We've been out for a bit. I wanted to come back with a bang, and I had fun doing it. I've always wanted to do a D&D dinner party. So,
Yeah.
here we are.
D
Felt
and
like I
dinner
was a
party.
Mistborn.
A D&D dinner.
D&D.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
totally
I don't know if I'd
does.
call it D and dinner because
That's something else.
That's what Yoshida and Angelle both were going for. Though.
One more so than the other, but
That's
you know.
not what
Yeah.
the intention was.
Everyone, have a great night. Have a great week. We will see you on Thursday for we don't have the balls to try to call what we're going to be playing in
Nope.
advance. We'll see you on Thursday for something.
Shenanigans.
It'll be
For
entertaining.
Shenanigans for chaos.
Do we need to
It'll
raid
be
somebody?
fun. Do we have anybody
Raid.
currently available for raid? Let me.
Great. Don't have anybody on my side.
We've got Cyphron.
Yeah.
He's
Do
a good
that.
one to rate. I don't have anybody else available on my end.
Yeah, we can do a Cyphern. Let me get it going here.
Yeah, let's just
Unless you
checking.
wanna
If
find
anybody in the
somebody-
chat has anybody for us to rate, if there's any call out,
Yeah, let us
Can.
know.
otherwise we'll just raid somebody. I'm going to give that a few count. I had fun tonight, guys. I'm glad to be back.
That's super
Yeah.
fun. Felt like Vin,
Back for what, 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and then we
but
take
like
another 2 weeks.
confident Vin.
Don't take this
2
from me,
weeks,
David.
2
I need
weeks.
these 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, that's we're
Oh,
a
it is.
very considerate D&D group because we play 2 hours once a week, so it's not too hard to watch. If you don't catch it live, we put it on YouTube. If you don't have the patience to watch it on YouTube, we put out a 2-minute recap. And then we tell you a really short recap at the beginning of each episode. So realistically, it takes you like 5 minutes to catch up to at least on the very loosest of notes on what we've done.
Very
Like
true.
it's easy to digest.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a J.
I feel we still I'm not seeing any. Oh, hey, we're raiding. There we go.
Well, yeah, I'm just getting it ready. So
Hey,
Yeah,
we're
cool.
raiding.
There we go.
We're sending to Cyphron. Stick around for a minute, give him a follow. He's a lot of fun. Is he playing Sea of Thieves again?
he's
Or
playing World of
Warcraft?
Warcraft tonight. So if you're a
Ooh,
World of Warcraft fan,
Wow.
Yeah.
Game playing.
Everybody's playing it.
Wow.
All the cool kids are getting into it.
Everybody's into it.
I will not be.
Awesome, guys. Yeah.
Let's send it through. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you on Thursday.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.